What is up, guys? Freno1 here, and welcome to my live reaction and review for The Promised Neverland, Chapter 123, An Important Choice. Alright, guys, so last week we pretty much had Ray bring out of Emma the fact that she does not agree with Norman's way of thinking of completely and totally eradicating the demons. She wants to find a way where the humans and demons can coexist and live simultaneously and free together without any hassle of hunting and all that kind of jazz. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how Norman reacts to this, because Norman is seemingly, there's a lot more to Norman that we've noticed. We saw little glimpses of it at the start, that he can be very cold, very ruthless. How is he going to react to when Emma says, look, I don't want to kill the demons. I just want to set something up so everything is equal. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But anyway, guys, let's just get straight into this week's chapter. We also know that Norman is setting up a meeting with them. Who are they? Let's find out. I got a feeling we're going to find out in this week's chapter. Those eyes believing in her tomorrow. So we've got Emma there, front and we've got Ray and Norman in the background. We've got an awesome colored page here. Chapter 123, An Important Choice. Let's go. I don't want to kill the demons, but I absolutely don't want any more of our friends to be eaten. A heart at conflict, swaying back and forth. What do I do, Ray? I don't know what I should do. So Ray's there. I don't know either. Huh? I love it. I love the look of it. It's like, huh? What? You meant to know everything. Like, what the hell? I love that. That is awesome. Alright. It's just like you said. The Seven Walls route isn't something that will work. Destroy the plantation. Reforge the promise. Either way, the demons will perish. Okay? So either way, it still ends at that same goal. And even if we just forcibly escape to the human world, the risk of us being chased or starting a war is too high. Wait, run away! War. Even more people die. So these are all the different options, right? Right now, humans are an absolute essential food source for the demons and their characteristics. If you want to save all of the cattle children, no matter how you cut it, Norman's method is the only choice. Okay, so we've got Norman there, we've got Zazie in the background, a couple other people there that we don't quite know yet. Nothing can be done, or rather, you have no place to argue. Norman is correct. So this is Ray kind of logically going through all the different options in how everything's going to come down. Okay? For now, there's nothing we can do, huh? He says, what? I love it. I love the look of him. So it's like, what the hell, man? Huh? Wait, I don't understand. Then why did you ask about my feelings? Isn't there a solution? Nope. What kind of advice is that? Can't you give any criticism? Nope. Well, you could have said that earlier then. Even though I was holding it in. You can't just brush aside someone's feelings that they've had buried so deep, you jerk. So she's ripping into him. But soon, they'll be uncovered. Huh? Okay. Your real intentions are buried. Before long, they'll come out. If you want to keep them buried thoroughly, hide them and take this to the grave. You just can't give it up, right? That being said, from this point forward, there will be countless things you couldn't stand, and they will balloon and eventually explode. And in your case, it will probably happen at the most inopportune time. You're always rushing in the most troublesome direction all by yourself. She's like, I love how he's just ripping her to shreds. That's right. To everyone else, Emma is always putting herself in danger. To Norman, you're a great deal of trouble. You bother him a lot too. Okay? If you're not convinced, then you should probably see him face to face, especially because of just how serious a decision it is this time. If you go at this half-heartedly, you'll regret it. It could be the biggest regret in your entire life. I like how Ray, the one thing I love about Ray, so from the start of the series to like now, Ray has always been very logical, very cold, and kind of like a manipulator. But here what we're seeing is someone who genuinely cares and is like, look, I'm going to say it blunt and straight to your face. This is the situation. If we do this, this happens. If we do that, this still happens. He's laying out every possible option and it still ends with the same point. Okay, I like that. And he's basically saying, look, you need to do this because otherwise you're going to regret it. And that's not good. So we've got Emily and Ray. I've been convinced to side with extinction here, but you're different. You still can't stop thinking about what you should do. There are only times like these that you actually listen intently. I know. So she's like, I know. So she's struggling a lot. Then let's go over it again from the start. What do you really want, Emma? To avoid extermination, to find a path without war. Okay? But I don't know how. And everybody would be against it. If I fool around without thinking, I might end up putting everyone in danger again. The most important thing is I can't afford to lose anybody else from our family. When I think about that, I realize it's not just a matter of wanting. I don't know what I really want, because more than that, I don't know what's the right thing to do. So they're pretty much having a heart-to-heart here. Alright? And I think this is something that needed to happen. And let's go and have a proper talk with Norman first. With Norman, you want to know as troubled as I am? It's exactly because of how troubled you are. I like how he's like, look, we talked to Norman. He obviously knows that Norman's a lot smarter. And if anyone can come up with a solution, it's Norman. Like I said, it'll be too late after you explode. Besides, if nothing else, it's Norman. If you're friends that can trust each other, then even more reason to tell them. Hasn't he been special to us since a long time ago? Okay, I love it. A little bit of manipulation. So he still has to be the manipulator in him. I like that. Yeah. And moreover, we're talking right now with parallel lines of thinking. Because I'm sure there's something we can only see when discussing this with him. Such as, first, a concrete plan. Depending on his plan, the chances of a war breaking out won't be zero. We'd better make sure to check. You're right. Aside from that, there's something I'm curious about. Oh, I wonder what that is. I want to know what it is. I have to know. What is Ray curious about? Musica and Sonju. Right. Those two don't eat humans. It's strange. If they do not continue to eat humans, they can't retain their form and intelligence. Even so, both Sonju and Musica have human forms and high intelligence, and also inheriting the trait of what you eat. Those two ate birds and fish, but their figure didn't undergo any kind of change. Right? So I think that's one thing I'm actually quite enjoying here. But it's the fact that the theory was that these demons basically, whatever they eat, one thing we found, whatever they eat, they take on that form. But why, even though Sandra and Music are eating everything, did they take on those type of forms? So I like how Ray's quite skeptical about this. I wonder what that could mean. Maybe it takes a really long time after they eat until their forms change. Okay, that's another possibility. Well, nevertheless, it's still strange that they can maintain a human form without eating humans. I know, right? Those two also could have been lying. But if not, Sonju and Musica are exceptions that don't need to eat people to maintain their human form and intelligence. But the one thing we do know is that even though Sonju may not eat humans at the moment, he wants to. Right? We did see that. I think it's chapter 47. He's like, but I can't wait till they're gone wild again. So he wants to hunt humans again. If all the demons were like Musica, there might be a way for the demons and humans to coexist. No, even I know that's too convenient of a wish. I wonder if Norman knows about it, about how there are demons like Musica. Don't know, but if he doesn't, this could be bad, huh? If it's like we think, we need to let him know quick. Okay. Under that hypothesis, assuming that there are exceptions out there that can retain their form, how many demons with exceptions like that do you think there are? If there happen to be a lot, there will be those among them who want to eat humans. And if we destroy the plantations, they won't degenerate. They'll remain enemies to humans. Norman's plan will collapse from its foundation. Okay. Conversely, if Norman already knows, we might be able to ask him about the existence of that exception. Depending on the situation, we might get a hint about how humans and demons could possibly live together. Right. Although I think she's like, right. So I like that. I like how Ray's thinking this through. He's very much thinking all this very through. Although I think it's less than a 1 in a million chance, taking everything into account. We shouldn't let this keep festering. Right. Now, let's go discuss this with Norman now, about Musica and Sonju, and how you're troubled. Although, to be honest, I think coexistence with the demons is impossible. Those ones from the other day that ganged up on you, those are demons. But we also owe a lot to Sonju and Musica. Choose whatever you want. I'll lend you my shoulder. No matter what choice you make, it'll be okay. Okay? Doing something when it's impossible is your specialty. Let's make a future we won't regret. Nice. Yeah. Alright. Thanks, Ray. I somehow feel a lot better now. That was quick. Let's talk about everything so we have nothing to regret. And then we'll decide. A choice from the heart. So she's knocking. No. Alright. So we've seen the big guy in the back. So we've got 2 new characters. I believe this is them. Alright, let's get going. Who are they? Huh? Nice to meet you, I'm Ray. And I'm Emma. We came from shelter B0632. They're the escapees that joined up with us yesterday. Oh, Grace Shield. Grace Field. Want a bite? No thanks. I'm good for now. Excuse me, where's the boss? We'd like to talk. Okay. The boss is out of the office right now on some urgent business. Then we'll come back again later. Wait a second, let's have some tea. A chance meeting with the confidence. The curtain rises on a tea party. We're a little bit curious. You're those goodies from Grace Field? Chapter 123. End. Okay, interesting. Alright, well anyway guys, we're going to go back and we'll jump straight into the review. Alright guys, so chapter 123 of The Promised Neverland, an important choice. This entire chapter was basically Emma and Ray talking about why Emma is so troubled. Emma doesn't want to see the demons eradicated, extinct, wiped out. She doesn't want that. That doesn't really add up to it as an option, right? But as Ray point out, if they go and make to the seven walls, reforge a new promise, if they're going on that theory of Norman that whatever they eat, they take on that form, then eventually the demons, not being able to eat humans, will revert back to beasts and then die out. Likewise, if they go and destroy the plantation, the same thing happens. So no matter which way they approach it, it all ends the same way, with the demons being eradicated or wiped out. So the real question is, does Norman, then we do see Sanju and Musica, they get brought up in this, and the fact that they do not eat humans, and that is something that Ray is quite curious about, because it's like, alright, if they don't eat humans, right, we saw them eat birds and all this other stuff, why didn't they take on some of those forms? Instead, they maintained their intelligence, they maintained their human form. Are they potentially exceptions, right? And if they are exceptions, could there also be other exceptions out there in the world? That's a very plausible question. Does Norman know about these exceptions, right? But then also those exceptions could potentially still be enemies to humans. While Ray is on the side with Norman saying, look, I think we should eradicate them, wipe them out, and he thinks that's a good idea. Obviously, Emma thinks the other way around, and he's like, there's a lot of things that still don't add up. They don't know Norman's plan, they don't know how he's going to go about it, and they don't know if Norman actually knows about the role of the exceptions. So there's a lot of questions still to be answered, and one of the biggest questions that we've received over the last few weeks is we found out about what the demons are, in the fact that they take on the form of whatever they eat. And I'm assuming that goes based on their intelligence. The more intelligent the creature is, the more likely that form they're going to take. So obviously by eating humans, that will override everything else. So that's kind of my theory on why when they ate the birds and all that kind of stuff, their form didn't actually change, because the overall one of the human one is more superior, therefore they maintain that form. So that is my theory on why they did that. But it could also be that maybe for them to maintain that, to maintain an intelligence, they gain the intelligence of the animals, and that is enough to maintain that form, therefore gaining, also maintaining that intelligence as well. There might be something along those lines as well that we haven't really thought about, or could potentially actually happen. So I'm really curious about what's going on. I also kind of think that Norman isn't giving the full story. He's only giving very basic stuff. Very basic, the minimal that he needed to tell him to get him on his side. Because as we know, Norman's a very smart, very cunning, and of course a very ruthless young man. So we've seen a different side to Norman. So I'm really curious about, is he telling the whole truth, or is he just telling kind of part of the truth? So I'm really curious about how he's playing it. I like the fact that Ray is thinking all this out, and he's come to the conclusion, look, Emma, you're troubled. Plus all these other things that don't quite add up. We need to go to talk to Norman, like, right now, and sort this shit out. I like that Ray is very forward, and he goes, look, by bringing up the exceptions and everything, we could also potentially stumble upon another solution. Right? And I like that. I like how he's somewhat manipulated Emma a little bit into going and talking to Norman. We then have them going to the office and meeting them. We don't know their names yet. I believe one was Vince. The big guy, I believe his name was Vince. Not quite sure. Don't quite remember. I would have to go back and double check. But for those of you who don't know, let me know in the comment section below what that big guy's name. I'm pretty sure we got his name last week or the week before. Not quite sure. But as we know, Norman isn't there. He's out on some urgent business. What's his urgent business? We don't know. But Anyway, it ends up with Emma and Ray sitting down and possibly having a tea party and getting to know these characters. I believe these are the ones, along with Zazie, who go to plantations and actually destroy the plantations. So, or they're like Norman's commanders, or along those lines. So I'm really curious about who they are, what's their role within the organization, and all that kind of jazz. It's kind of really curious about that. And as we know, they're very curious about Emma and Ray as well. But anyway, guys, overall, for this chapter, the art was solid. Very solid chapter. I liked it. Very much setting things up. Still very much setting. You know, that's something that The Promised Neverland does very well. Setting things up for a big reveal. And I think we had a big reveal of the demons, but I think there's going to be something bigger. It's going to be the overall plan is the next big reveal of what's going to go down and how everything's going to basically happen. That's going to be our next big reveal. So I'm really curious about also who are these people? Are they them? I'm assuming they're them. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they are. Are they just commanders? Are they in charge of other bunks? Are they from the base that they are? Are they in charge of other bases? Are they commanders? Are they doing the same thing that Norman is doing? Are they part of Norman's team? Who are they? How do they fit into everything? And what's going to happen now on? But yeah, so overall, guys, the art was solid. I'm going to give this chapter 3.5 stars. Very solid chapter. I really did enjoy it. Not super hype, but not boring. Very much setting things up, and I like how they're taking their time. They're really trying to build up not so much the tension, but the anticipation for the big reveal, which I believe is going to be the next big reveal is going to be the overall plan. So I'm really curious about how this is all going to play out. But anyway, guys, that is all for me. Let me know in that comment section below what you guys thought. Did you like it? Didn't like it? All that kind of jazz. And as always, guys, I'm Frano1. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you guys next time for another live reaction and review. Peace.